There is too much tension earlier caused by the shipwreck and then Miranda and then checking on Ferdinand, all that. So Shakespeare believed that there should be a little bit of comedy in between. So we were on page 44, where we begin with, I don't have any long spoon to have dinner with the devil. Here you can write a note. Go back, children, what I did yesterday. Here you can write a note. I've told you this play is didactic. So there are many lessons learned from the play. Lesson that we learn from Stefano's top speech is, write in brackets, if you eat with the devil, if you eat with the devil, you need a very long spoon. You need a very long spoon to keep distance from him. To keep distance from him. Full stop. If you mix with bad people, if you mix with bad people, you should be careful. You should be careful not to be influenced by them. Not to be influenced by them. Full stop. Shakespeare warns us. Shakespeare warns us not to get too close, not to get too close when dealing with evil people. When dealing with evil people. So Trinculo calls out to Stefano, and Stefano says, mark the comedy. Your other mouth is calling me. God have mercy. This is a devil and not a monster. I will leave him because I do not have a long spoon to have dinner with the devil. Then after that, Stefano thinks of pulling Trinculo from underneath Caliban's cloak. Then Trinculo tells us that he thought Stefano has been killed with a thunderstroke. But now he knows that Stefano is alive. And then he asks, is the storm over? I hid myself under thinking that Caliban is dead. So he says, dead moon calf's cloak. I'm just repeating that last page again. For fear of the storm. Then he cannot believe that Stefano is living. And he feels very happy that two citizens of Naples have escaped from drowning. Then Trinculo becomes so happy, he picks up Stefano and turns him round and round. Stefano says that he's feeling sick. Caliban is watching Trinculo and Stefano, and he's speaking aside. These are fine things if they are not spirits. Because earlier he thought that Trinculo was a spirit of Prospero. He calls Stefano a brave god. From here, this is important, I told you yesterday also, Caliban begins to worship Stefano because of the liquor he keeps pouring down his throat. Because of the liquor he keeps pouring down his throat. Now this will lead to another plot. Another plot is to kill Prospero. Caliban is going to incite Stefano to kill Prospero. This is another plot in your play. Got it, everyone? First plot was Antonio killing Prospero and becoming the Duke of Milan. Second plot was Sebastian to kill Alonso. And third plot was Caliban inciting Stefano to kill Prospero. This is just the beginning. He calls Stefano a handsome god. He is carrying heavenly liquor. He is ready to kneel in front of him, show his respect to Stefano. Stefano says, important dialogue, how did you escape? How did you come here? How did you escape? Question mark. How did you come here? Question mark. Now mark for comedy. You must have seen in court scenes in movies, they put their hand to swear on the Bible. Before they speak. The humor in this scene is treating the bottle of liquor like the Bible. Is actually disrespecting the Bible. But for them, the bottle of liquor is the Bible. Swear by this bottle. Tell me the truth. how did you come here? Hither. Hither is Old English. Here is modern English. H-E-R-E. Now we come to know that Stefano escaped, holding on to a barrel of wine. Stefano escaped upon a barrel of sack. Another meaning of the word sack is white wine. It's written on the left. You can mark it to learn. White wine imported from Spain and Canary Islands. B-U-T-T, but is barrel or cask. You call it a cask also. C-A-S-K. So Stefano tells him that he escaped upon a barrel of wine, which the sailors threw into the sea. To heave is to pick up something heavy and throw. Which the sailors threw into the sea. Put a dash. I swear by this bottle. I swear by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree. You can see the bottle in the picture you have got on page 45. The bottle is made from the bark of a tree. With my own hands, since I had been swept on the shore. Since I had been swept on the shore. When I say this dialogue is important, or I tell you this shows you character, or I tell you this shows dramatic irony, this means that this is to be learned. Caliban's now it feels great after drinking. So he says, I'll swear upon that bottle. I am ready to be your loyal subject. I swear upon that bottle, I am ready to be your loyal subject, comma, For the liquor is a heavenly drink. For the liquor is not earthly. Is not earthly means it is heavenly. It doesn't belong to the earth, it belongs to the heaven. We also have one word, celestial. Celestial means of the heavens. Stefano says, here, swear by the bottle and tell me how you escape drowning. Swear by the bottle, then tell me how you escape drowning. So you have to learn, how did Stefano escape drowning? And next question, how did Trinculu escape drowning? You have to know very exactly for MCQs. Trinculu can swim like a duck. Simile. Trinculu is a very good swimmer, like the duck. And he was able to escape drowning because he is an excellent swimmer. Again, mark for humor. Stefano says, here kiss the book. It is not a book. It is the bottle. People kiss the Bible also when they swear on the Bible, because it is the word of God. Again, you can mark for humor. He gives him the bottle to kiss. Though you can swim like a duck, you actually look like a goose. Two similes. Like a duck swims very well. A goose is quite ugly to look at because of its very long neck. If I say, if this is an expression in English also, that if I want to say, oh, how stupid you are, I can say, what a goose you are. Goose is also a symbol of ugliness, also a symbol of stupidity. It's a bird with a long neck. So you can swim like a duck, but you look like a goose. That means ugly and stupid looking. Trinkulu is not interested in Stefano's comments. He is also interested in the liquor. So Trinkulu says, Stefano, have you any more of this liquor? Have you any more of this liquor? Stefano says, I have a whole barrel full of wine. I have a whole barrel full of wine, full of liquor. You know what a barrel is, children? It has a round shape. It's like this round shape, and there's a tap to it. So like you take out water, you can take out liquor. So liquor was kept in barrels. People say the older the wine, the better it is. So usually wines are stored in an underground room for months. Stefano says, I have a whole barrel of wine, man. My cellar is in a rock. That is why he uses the word cellar. Cellar is an underground room. My cellar is in a rock near the seaside where my wine is hidden. Underline this also. This is also important to remember. Sort of an underground place in a rock where he has hidden this barrel. Next line is spoken to Caliban. How are you, mooncalf? You deformed creature. How are you? You deformed creature, how are you? How is your ague, your fever? Caliban says, have you not dropped from heaven? In other words, do you belong to the earth or do you belong to heaven? Have you not dropped from heaven? Meaning, do you belong to the earth or do you belong to heaven? Stefano says, I have fallen from the moon. I have dropped from the moon. I assure you, you've got the picture in your book on page 45, children. If you see the moon, you will see a shadow like this in the moon. In those days, nobody had been to the moon. We are talking about 17th century. So people used to think that there is a man in the moon. Actually, if you look at the moon, the shadow is just like this. So he says, I was the man in the moon whom people used to see. Whom people used to see. Caliban says, I have seen you in the moon. You is Stefano. You, in multiple choice questions, you can just get a question like this also. Who does thee refer to? Stefano, Prospero, Trinculu, or Caliban? You can get a question like this also. So I have seen you Stefano in the moon. And I do adore you. He is flattering Stefano. My mistress showed me you, your dog, and the bush in the moon. Now, my mistress probably means Miranda here. It cannot mean anybody else. Stefano says, come, swear on the bottle. Instead of saying bottle, he says book, but actually it is the bottle. Kiss the book. Are you understanding the humor? The bottle is holy for drunkards. So they are comparing the bottle to the Bible. Stefano says, kiss the book. I will fill it soon with more liquor. I will fill it soon with more liquor. New contents. New contents means more liquor. Swear. Caliban drinks. Write this down. It's not given in your book. Trincolo is pointing to Caliban but speaking to Stefano. Pointing to Caliban, speaking to Stefano. Trincolo says, I swear by this bright light, that is the sun. I swear by this bright light that this monster is Caliban, that this monster is very shallow. You call a person shallow, which means having no intelligence. He's a very shallow person. Another meaning of the word shallow. Add in your vocabulary, one shallow is not deep. Water which is not deep. And if I say he is a very shallow person, means he does not have any intelligence. He's foolish. I swear by the sun, this is a very shallow monster. I am afraid of him. It's a question. How can I be afraid of him? If you want to change it to a statement from a question, it becomes, how can I be afraid of him? He is a very weak-minded monster. He's got no brains. He's a weak-minded monster. Exclamation mark. He really thinks that you were the man in the moon. He really thinks that you were the man in the moon. Full stop. Credulous. Add in your vocabulary. Very good word. Credulous is one who believes easily. Credible, you must have heard. He believes everything. He's so stupid. He lacks intelligence. He believes everything. Now you write it, it's not given in your book. Last line, what I'm reading now, is spoken to Caliban. Got it? First 3 lines, Trinculo is speaking to Stefano, pointing to Caliban. Now the last line, well drawn, Trinculo is speaking to Caliban. Well drawn. Now when I'm drinking this water, look at me everyone. What am I doing? I'm drawing water. I pull it into my mouth. This is another meaning of the word draw. Well drawn. He says you are well drunk from the bottle. Well drunk monster. Well drunk means you have drunk a huge quantity. In good sooth means truly. Truly you have drunk